Hello everyone, my name is Jen and welcome to the Book Refuge. Hello friends and welcome to another video, and today it is already time to do my June TBR. I won't lie, I was scrambling a bit last night to put this together because I totally forgot that it was so late in the month already. And with Memorial Day coming up and the weekend's just gonna be really busy, so I was like, what video are you gonna do, Jen? Like, that's what I was thinking to myself. And as I mentioned, I didn't want to just do the off-campus recaps right now. And also, as I mentioned, those videos are a lot of work, as you will see how long they are. And they're turning out to not be particularly popular, which is a little bit sad, but I'm still gonna make them because you guys know when I get on the track of something, I just have to complete it. But it means that I'm like, okay, well, I won't rush to kill myself to get through those things. I would never rush to hurt myself, by the way. Shouldn't make that as a joke even. Sorry about that. But I shouldn't rush to overburden myself with getting those done too quickly, because they're more of a passion project as it is. So that means we need to squeeze in still some regularly scheduled programming, and that means a June TBR, which is wild. And as always seems to happen, June I thought originally was only going to have maybe like 10 max to get through. Well, maybe I thought there would be a little less than that, because it turns out I think there's about like 12 to 13 arcs within it. There's also book club is going to be in June instead of the last week of May, just because Big Sis, her son was graduating and it was her birthday, so there was a lot going on. So those books kind of got moved over to June, though I hope I will be reading them before June. Y'all, you know, we never know. But yeah, there's just so much going on, and it's time to share that with y'all today. But first off, if you love getting romance recommendations of all types, please make sure you're subscribed to the channel. I just hit 25K a little bit earlier this year, and it is so cool. I've been doing this for 8 years now, and there's no plan for me to slow down or stop at any point. So if you want to jump on that ride and be here, make sure you are following my channel. And, you know, you can even check out my Patreon if you're interested in supporting at another level, or even just being a free member there, because I do give some updates and do giveaways there and things like that. And you don't have to be a paid supporter there to get access to that. So enough of that plug, let's get into it. Because I was scrambling a bit last night, I actually don't have all of these written in my cute journal yet. I just wrote them down in a regular notebook, and I'll have to move them into my bullet journal. I never like to be rushed when I'm working on my bullet journal, because it is something that I enjoy doing so much, and I've really kind of added a lot of fun pieces into my bullet journal over the years, and so I never want to make that when it's like you have to get it done right now. So for now, it's just written in my idea journal, which is fun. So anyway, the way this will be broken up though, I'm going to go over my Patreon and book club stuff. Then I will go over the upcoming releases that I will either be reading arcs for, or else I'm keeping my eye on them to want to get to them. And then I have just a couple books that I will be reading or rereading that will be annotated books I'm doing. And there's some that I'm really excited about doing for that. So let's go ahead and jump into these. For my Patreon, I always, each month, have a Patreon read that I will buy a copy of it, and then I will read it, annotate it, and do an exclusive review for my Patreon. In the month of May, that book is Devil in Dublin, or I think it's just Devil in Dublin. Actually, I haven't read that one yet, but it will get done either at the end of May or the first couple days of June. And there will be an exclusive review available for my Patreon, which is amazing. I have, I think, be like 40 of them is what I'm thinking of, exclusive reviews over there, which is fun. And there is a theme each month, and a theme or a trope usually that gets pulled out of a little jar that everyone put ideas into. And then my patrons can suggest books, and then we vote on them. And so the theme / trope for June is second chance. And the book that got picked was actually Rope the Moon by Ava Hunter. And I am very intrigued by this because I've been wanting to read Ava Hunter for ages. And I actually own the first book in the series, but I haven't read it. I'd like to say I will have the time to read it before, but I doubt so. I'll probably just have to go into this one. But just a quick bit of the blurb of this one, let me tell you, because I'm really intrigued by it. So this one says, a sexy small town military standalone romance, which has me intrigued. And it says, I was a good girl who played by the rules, except when it came to Davis Montgomery, a handsome former Marine with a rough touch and a filthy mouth, a man I loved. But when he didn't ask me to stay, I took it as a sign to leave my small town and chase my dream. What a mistake that turned out to be. Now I'm back, running from the flames of my past to find a fresh start. But fresh doesn't always mean easy. Not when I'm now the town outcast. Not when I can't hide my bruises or the baby I'm carrying. So excited. I really never read the blurbs of these beforehand because it's up to my patrons what we pick. When Davis finds out what happened to me, his protective nature comes out and he does the unthinkable. He moves into Runaway Ranch. Determined to keep me safe, he says he'll do everything he can to get me back on my feet. But I never expected the deep feelings and scorching attraction between us to come back even stronger. One night, the embers of our past are rekindled, and I remember all the reasons why I've loved him for so long. That one spark gives us back our second chance, but second chances don't come easy, especially when the shadow from my past is lurking and ready to take back what's his. Oh my goodness. Oh, thank you, patrons. I really don't read these blurbs. Unless it's one that I'm really worried about what the trigger warnings might be, and I wasn't worried about that for this one. This has so many things I love in it. I'm so freaking excited. I can't even tell you. I love Not His Baby. I love Woman on the Run. I love a protective former Marine. Hello. Besides a cowboy. And he's a cowboy. Like, it's all of those things. I just love it. The reason why I say that is, I mean, don't say we don't have issues. My dad was a cowboy who was a former Marine. Okay. All right. Okay. I'm just saying. I love that archetype. It's a thing for me. So yeah, that will be the one I'm reading for Patreon. Now, some other ones that I'll be reading for Patreon or rereading for them are actually Precious Hazard. One of my patrons has been having me annotate every single one of these, which is very exciting because before I get to this one, I'll actually be reading the 12th book in the series because it comes out at the end of May and I just got my arc for it. So I will be getting to that one soon. But this is book 11, which is Tara and Arturo. And I will admit that this was one that I didn't love as much as others in the series, but I'm excited about this for two reasons. Because the reason was the last book I read before this one was a 6-star read for me. Okay. Sweet Prison is a 6-star book for me. So there was just a lot that Precious Hazard had to live up to. And it's a dynamic that's not my favorite one. But I'm excited to reread it because hopefully I'll get, now when I'm not comparing it directly to my favorite book in the series, I think I can really enjoy myself with it. But once I reread this, I'll have gotten through and annotated every single book in the series, which is fun. I will also be finishing off a series reread of Where You Belong by Kristen Proby. Been annotating this whole series for one of my patrons. And then I have 2 books by Claire Kemp for that, one of which I will have to reread because I didn't annotate this one the first time I read it, and that was Protected. So I will be rereading that. And then I will be doing Haven, which I have already annotated for someone. And then there will be also Fractured Souls by Neva Altai. I've already read that one. Ones I haven't read is Take My Kiss by Brooke Montgomery. I am working my way through that series for someone as well. There's also Hunt for You by Amy Lynn. So this, I believe, is an author's debut. And one of my patrons really wants me to give this one a go. So I will be. Then there will also be Ironling by S.C. Wendell, who I did Halfling the last month for this patron, and they asked me to do Ironling for this one, and I definitely want to, because I did really enjoy Halfling, and there was some setup for Ironling. So those are all of the patron rereads or reads that I will have. So very looking forward to some of those. Then, as a reminder, quickly, there is Book Club Rake Appreciation Society, and normally this would have been the last week of May, but again, with Crystal's son graduating, I was like, let's just not worry about it. And I don't want to put it all on her either. It's a busy time of the year for me as well. I have a lot of friends who have birthdays and anniversaries, and they all wanted to celebrate them this year, which right on, I'm there, let's go. But it makes it pretty busy. So the 2 books, I've mentioned these multiple times now, but I'll do it again because you still have time to get in on this. I haven't even read them yet. Crystal hasn't read them yet. And book club is going to be June 3rd, which is a Wednesday night. It'll be 8 p.m. Central, 7 p.m. Mountain Time, 9 p.m. Eastern, if you want to know. And the 2 books both have audiobooks. And then the book that was my choice, A Duke in the Night by Kelly Bowen, that one's also on Kindle Unlimited. So it's on Kindle Unlimited and it has an audiobook. And then My Lady, My Lord by Catherine Ash also has an audiobook. Isn't on Kindle Unlimited, but it is available on ebook. And one of the things that was kind of nice for me is so I bought that book just the other day, is that I always have so many Kindle rewards stocked up because you get those on your purchases, right? And I have to purchase all the books that I annotate, right? Some of my budget goes into buying the books that I annotate. So I always have hundreds of points, but I don't normally need to buy ebooks because they're either on Kindle Unlimited or I've received ARCs. And so I had, I think 1,500 points saved up. And so it is a bummer they only let you use a $3 coupon on one, which I understand. They still want you to pay some, but I ended up only paying $2.99 for the Catherine Ash because I had so many credits saved up. So I was actually oh, sweet. Also, something I discovered, I was able to use my Kindle credits to purchase an episode of Dutton Ranch because I'm catching up on that, and I didn't want to get the Paramount subscription. So I was able to buy an episode using my Kindle credits, which was kind of cool. I liked being able to do that. Anyway. Okay, so let's get in now to the upcoming releases or books that I will maybe be getting to, or that I have my eye on. Sorry, I can't talk today. So, starting off, there is Forever Fighting by Jay Salmon. This will be the next book in, sorry, I actually have it pulled up here. This book will be the next one in Boston, or Forever Boston. And this one is a chef hero, and he is an underground fighter. And it's a part of her Boston world. So, all ready for that. Next, there's one that I'm really intrigued by because it'll be my first read that I'm doing from Podium. I made it onto the Podium influencer team, which is kind of cool. Although 2 of the audiobooks I've signed up for already both have delays, so I don't know if I'll get to them in June. But this one is called Shadows of Sparta, a Greek mythology romantasy from C.R. Jane. And I think I talked about this in my anticipated releases of the summer. And this one, I won't read the whole blurb to you because I'm not going to do that for all of these, I swear. But because this one will be I think I've read one of C.R. Jane's hockey books, but that's all I've read by C.R. Jane. And this one is going to be the first in a trilogy that says, just the line here is, even as her heart is pulled in 2 directions, Helena fights to save Sparta in the face of a tyrannical king in this romantasy retelling of Helen of Troy. So it says also that Shadows of Sparta is an MF dark romantasy featuring a strong heroine, a morally gray heroes, forbidden magic, and enemies to lovers, love triangle, and violence. It is intended for mature people. So it says it's going to be an MF, but it is a love triangle. So we'll see how that one goes. If they end up getting it to me in time, I don't know. Another one that was sent to me that is for the beginning of June is Nobody's Quest by Alyssa Day. This was sent to me from the publisher, and this one, I have never read anything by Alyssa Day, but I've seen her around for years. And so this was sent to me from Red Tower. And this one, it says, like, here's the map in here. And this one says, the goddess needs a nobody, the prince needs a miracle, and solely gray mind might be both. So I remember reading the blurb of this one that I think she's like a servant who gets called up to be a part of this journey. And my guess is, based on the blurb, that she does have some type of secret magic that has been lull that she hasn't like known about until now. But I was sent an arc of this. This seems like a book I would probably like a audiobook for. But I am intrigued. It does say that it is, oh yeah, here's the blurb, or the content warning. I think this is adult romance. It says it's a fast-paced, adventure-filled romantasy that celebrates the triumph of hope over fear. It also contains content that may be sensitive to some readers, including a portrayal of depression, negative self-talk that stems from depression, references to child abuse, indentured servitude, death of a parent, and it contains explicit sex. So yeah, I think this is an adult romantasy. So the author, in her author's note too, which I won't read the whole thing, her name actually this is really about a like mental health journey. So that is interesting. So there we go. Okay, then there is one that I have been looking forward to for so long. It's finally coming. Is Face Off with Fate by Marie Maravilla. Sorry. She goes by Marie M for her mafia stuff, but this is Marie Maravilla. And this is the second in a interracial hockey romance. And this one is supposed to be the coach who's a single dad. And I think it's this like social media person. Let me pull it up. But it's a grumpy / brat single dad age gap hockey romance. And Graciela is the cousin of the heroine from High Sticking the Heart, which is a book I read way back in the beginning of last year, and I really loved it. And then this book has just been, I've just been chilling and waiting for this one to finally come out. And it says the age gap is she's 26, he's 33, so that's not really much bad at all. But yeah, she's like a PR person is what she is. So her job is to help with his reputation. He's an NHL coach. He's been an ill-tempered problem for the league since an injury ended his career. And he's a single dad. So, yeah, I am very much going to get to that one. I may end up with that one waiting for an audiobook as well, because the audiobook is how I read the first one, and I just loved it so much. But yes, High Sticking the Heart was one of my favorite reads in 2025. It started my year off right. I loved it. So I definitely want to read Face Off with Fate. Okay. Then there are a whole bunch of books coming on the 16th. I think three. Okay, the next one is on the 17th, but there's a whole bunch coming. And one of them is one I just can't wait to get to. I have an arc of this one. It's so cute. Is West of Forever by Corinne Michaels. And this is going to be so fun. This one is a cowboy and a cowgirl. I've been helping with some of the PR for this one. I'm on her street team, and the stuff we've gotten has been so cute so far, and I believe they're from rival families. So there's Tristan Stone, and it doesn't matter that the grumpy single dad did nothing wrong. He's a cowboy, and his last name means I'm bound by blood to hate him. My family would never be okay with me having feelings for my enemy. But when he stops in the pouring rain because I have a flat tire, the last thing I expect is for him to help me. Well, of course he would. He's a gentleman and a cowboy, girl. He's not just going to leave you to suffer in the rain. I do my best to ignore the water sliding off his hat and how he fills out those jeans. My best, however, is not good enough, and each night I close my eyes and dream of a future we can never have. And after he defends me at the bar and we share one magical dance, it only gets worse. Oh, sounds so tragic. I know I should forget about him, but when I find him alone one night, I offer up a no-strings attached relationship that we both promise to keep secret. Sidelong glances across property lines morph into clandestine meetings under the stars, wrapped up in each other's arms. It doesn't matter that our families will never approve or that he's told me he can never love again. I crave him. And soon our no feelings agreement is in tatters and my heart belongs to the broken cowboy. Will he break it or will he defy them all and choose us instead? I think I know what he's going to choose. Oh my gosh. This is like cowboy rivalry we got going on here. I love it. Okay. I said I wasn't going to read the backs of all of them, so I won't, but I couldn't help it because I've been sent a copy of that one. There also that day will be Rumors and Whiskey, which I also have been helping on the street team of that one. I've worn that shirt in one of my videos already. It's so freaking cute. They sent out ARC team shirts to everyone who was on the team, and I've literally wore that shirt so many times because it is so freaking cute. It's so cute. So yeah, this will be the start of the Whiskey Women series by Victoria Wilder, which is a spinoff from the Bourbon Boys. So that will be starting. And then the other book coming out on the 16th is Forged in Fire by A.L. Jackson, and this will be the start of the Crimson Crows series. And I'm pretty positive that's also a single dad because that is what our wonderful A.L. Jackson loves to write. And that one will be good. Okay, then on the 17th, there is Vicious Obsession by Mila Kane, and this will be book 5 in the Hellions of Hade Harbor. And been waiting on this one. Oh, I know she put the blurb out, but it's not on my, Amazon page hasn't been updated, but she did just share the cover. So I am looking forward to that one, though I didn't sign up for the ARC this time for this one, because there's just so many books coming out around the same time there. I'm really trying to pull back, but I will read this one because I love this series. It's one of the only like bully series I'm still reading, you know, besides Rena Kent's kind of always have that. And then Mila Kane are really the only two dark romance authors where I'm reading their stuff like that. Because I just can't help it. But a lot of the other ones I have kind of let fall to the wayside, but very much looking forward to this one. And then on the 18th, there is Pretty Little Scars by Kristen Proby, and this will be the first book. This will be the first book in Silver Springs, which if I'm correct, because see, she had another series she was doing too. I think this one is this one's in Montana, and I think this is a spinoff from the other series. I think so. Because I think Silver Springs was mentioned in the other series I've read. But you know what? I'll find out because like I said, I have to reread Where You Belong. So if there's a mention of them, I will. But all of her books are connected somehow, so I'm sure I will. This one says it's a small town forbidden forced proximity. What makes it forbidden here? She's a veterinary intern. And he's a mysterious customer from her diner. So is he like going to be like her boss or something? Is that why it's forbidden? I'm not sure with that one. But another book that was a complete surprise announcement, which why not? Because it's about a surprise baby. We have Try Again Baby, a secret baby romance, and the first book in the Wells Brothers series. And guess who it's about? Okay, it's about Ben. Yep, it's about Ben. It's about Ben, everyone. Okay, just the little backstory in case you need it. The last series, which was going before the Kelly or at the same time as the Kelly Ranch, I don't know. Whatever, however they connected, was the Harder They Fall series. And then after that was a spin-off series for the Mile High Billionaires. Okay. Here we go. So there was the Harder They Fall series, which went into the Mile High Billionaires. And then book 2 in the Mile High Billionaires was called By the Letter, which was a 6-star read for me. I loved it. And this was about Roman, who is a twin, and his twin is Ben. Now, Roman's book with, I think it's with, is it with Shayla? What's her name? Let me see. Shira, I was close, is an accidental pregnancy. And there's a whole journey in there. Roman comes off as a real dick in the beginning. But one thing he's not a dick about is when he finds out that she's pregnant, the man is all in. And guess who else is all in? His twin brother, Ben. And Ben was one of my favorite parts of the book. I even put a little note about it in my review, I'm pretty sure, saying that I couldn't wait for Ben's book because he was just so supportive and was so excited to be an uncle and just could not wait to help in any way that he could. And he's so sweet with Shira, and he's a rugby player, and his brother was a rugby player too, but he had to stop because of an injury, and so he's really gotten into the business side. Ben was still playing, and this book, Try Again Baby, will be about Ben first, but there was 3 other Wells brothers, so it was perfect for a trilogy. The woman knows what she was doing. So there's Roman, who's in By the Letter, and then Ben will be the first of the Wells brothers in Try Again Baby, which will be a secret baby romance. Now, I normally don't love those, but I loved By the Letter, and this one, though, is going to be one with the time jump where the child is now a bit older and Ben never knew, right? That is the setup of the blurb. And the heroine is thinking that he's a bad guy because he says, I want nothing to do with the baby. Now, to me, this seems like a Theo Silva situation where this is pure speculation for me. But my guess would be someone steps in and answers for Ben, because just having read By the Letter, there's no way in hell that Ben is turning away a woman who's having his baby. It's impossible. So I'm already excited about the book because even though it's going to hurt and it's going to suck, I know that Ben doesn't turn this woman away. So whatever reason that she isn't able to get in contact with him directly, someone's fucking up with things. Now, what I don't know is who it will be who's done that, or how things will go once he finds out. But I have a good feeling, okay? Because men written by Julia Wells are just better than all the rest. They're just better than all the rest, okay? In the last 4 years, out of the books of hers I've read, I think 4 of them have been 6-star reads. So I got a good feeling about it, okay? I got a good feeling about it. So even though this has some tropes that I'm not a huge fan of, it's going to be a good time. But this was a surprise announcement. And the thing is, I have still not read Set It Right. I've been so behind on things. And this is an ARC team that I actually want to be on. I've been on it for 5+ years now. I love it. And they have rules. There are rules for things. So I still need to read Set It Right. And my goal is actually to read it in the next week, get my reviews turned in so that I can get an ARC for this one. Because if I miss out on an ARC for this one, I may cry. Because I want to read Ben's book so badly. But anyway, after that whole rant, let's continue. There's just a few left to mention here. One of them being The Stars and Their Sky. I'm even afraid to say this, okay? I'm afraid to say this, but Gianna Darling's baby is here. Things are looking good. We're still a whole month out. So just a couple to round it out. So there's also Big Stick Energy, which is a New York Legends hockey by Serena Bowen. This one is going to be an MF romance. I haven't read an MF romance from Serena Bowen since 2020. Okay, I've only been reading her MM romances since then, unless I was rereading old ones. So that is crazy. And then Tempting Venom by Rena Kent, which will be the 3rd book in the Vipers series. And boy, oh boy, am I excited for what Tempting Venom is going to bring. Okay, I am thrilled to see what it will be. Okay. All right, now, just to round everything out then, I have a couple books that are for my annotated pre-order that I will have to read for the first time. And I will hopefully be getting to these in June. So, well, one of them's a reread and a couple are for the first time. So I will need to reread The Rise of Ink and Smoke. I need to annotate this. I had 2 people pre-order this, and this will be the last one I need to annotate. So I'm really looking forward to rereading it. This is also one of my 6-star reads, so it's kind of the perfect time because in June, I'll be talking about all of my 6-star reads thus far this year. So this will be a good time to reread Wolfson's book and get it annotated and everything. I also just love reading her physical copies because they all have artwork that Pam Godwin herself has done, which is really cool. And I just love it. So there's that. Then this one I'm so interested in. This is The Expanse Between Us by N.R. Scarano. I will be reading this one. This one is, yeah, a space romance. Where like the woman is kind of the villain and the villain gets a girl. I don't know. I'm excited about it though. Yeah. Ooh, there's a piece of artwork right inside. I'm intrigued. So there's that one. And then the other one I will be reading is, let me pull up, what's the author name here? Hollow by M.L. Burns, which I think that one's an M.M. romance, if I'm not incorrect. I had written that down. So those are the 3 annotated books I will need to do for the first time. So yeah, that is what I'm capping my TBR at right now. I think there's still plenty in there. There are also quite a few carryovers from the month of May that I'm just not re-putting on the list, but are there. You know, I'm still trying to finish the Fonda Lee. And then I also do want to get to Furybound and Rights of the Starling. But I just have some books that are work that I have to get to sooner. So they'll be the #1 priority going into June. But anyway, let me know what books you're excited for, if there's any that surprised you. Anyway, that's enough. Thank y'all so much for being here. I adore you all so much. Make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, hype this video if you think about it, and we'll see you in the next one.